When I was in high school, I remember just being with myself, being in my room whenever I got back home and didn't really go out as much, other than the times where I would maybe hang out with my friend at his house. But usually I would just always be in my room and didn't really like socializing with people because honestly, I kind of sucked at it. And I was more of afraid of that rejection and just not feeling good enough to be around with other people. So I stuck with myself just to be in a room, whether it was just playing video games or just watching TV, anime, or something like that. But during that time, while I was in that isolation period, just being in my room, although it might have been comfortable because I was in my house, at the same time, I felt this sense of loneliness and not being around people, even though a part of me desired to be with people and talk with people, especially with women or a girlfriend. I always struggled and feared that rejection. I feared with not approaching people, not approaching women, and just never actually step out my comfort zone and stayed with myself. And during that time, it was literally so bad, my social anxiety, that I literally didn't even go out my way to find a part-time job in high school. I just always made an excuse to why I didn't want to get one to my parents because I was afraid to do so by stepping out my comfort zone and just talk with people. And I feared just conversation and conflict because I didn't want to face that. So all I really did is just stay home majority of the time and do nothing as much. Where the sense of loneliness and the sense of isolation at times, even though I was playing online with friends at times, was really getting to me. And I didn't really know what to do because of that fear of rejection, that fear of if I was to be seen, what would the other people see? So I just stayed with myself. And I didn't really do much to change at all. I didn't step out of comfort. And bro, I just want to say, if that is you right now, it is okay. But we have to realize something, that maybe you might be hating that part of yourself. Maybe you might be hating that you are isolated, or you don't go out to see people as much. You don't talk to people. Maybe you don't even socialize with people as much and you're always indoors, or even just scared of rejection to approach a girl or a guy and just do the same thing every day while at the same time just hating it. And during that time for me, I absolutely hated myself for it. I hated that I was always by myself. I hated that I was always in isolation. But here's the thing, bro, which I never really understood, is actually a part of you loves that. Loves the imperfections, loves the things that you don't like. And I know that many people who are watching this don't want to hear that because we don't want to step out of comfort. Many people don't want to hear that. They don't actually want to change. And especially for me, bro, when I was in that isolation, when I was in that time period of just being with myself, although part of me might have hated it, there was another version, the subconscious version, that I was actually loving that isolation, being with myself, being comfy, even just having the bad habits. And I wanted to tell that quick story of my past in high school, middle school, just being in isolation, because I want to bring up this part that part of us actually loves being that way. It doesn't matter what you are experiencing right now. It doesn't matter if you have bad habits. It doesn't matter if you're in extreme loneliness. And there's obviously the conscious part that you hate it, but subconsciously, there's something that is keeping you that way for that reason. The thing I wish I knew back then was subconsciously, there's a part of your subconscious mind or belief system that's saying that you actually like it because it keeps you safe. It keeps you protected of facing maybe the unknown. And for me, when I was that child, I was scared of rejection. I was scared of breaking some bad habits, especially because of that fear of if I did this thing I genuinely desire, then something bad might happen. And that belief within itself always hijacked me from actually moving forward in life. Just think about it, bro. Think about something in your life that is holding you back. Think about the habits that you have, the routines that you might have, even if you're trying to push past it. There's something that always draws you back. It's a fear that calls to you. Anytime you may desire to change, anytime you might feel stuck with yourself and those things in life, deep down in your subconscious mind, a part of you loves to have that. And I know deep down, a lot of people don't want to hear that, because if they hear that, it's like facing themselves. It's facing the truth within themselves. Because by facing the internal problem, it's like facing that version of yourself that you don't want to become because of the things that might come with it. Maybe because of the fear of change. Most people don't want to hear the uncomfortable truth, especially that change requires you to let go of something that you're familiar with. And bro, even though I hated being in isolation, I hated that I was always alone, never had a girlfriend, and even just didn't really socialize. A part of me loved it because I didn't have to face conflict. I didn't have to face rejection. And we, as in people, we have to be aware of what those beliefs are, what those triggers are that we are scared to face, that come up when we are triggered, especially. Because if you actually want to make change, if you actually desire change in your life, truly desire, you will actually be willing to hear those internal beliefs, those voices within yourself that is trying to tell you otherwise, and begin to actually just let go of those things. And now, if you're someone who actually wants to make change right now, if you want to actually change your life, then here's the thing. If you don't want to follow the same routine, if you don't want to follow the same lifestyle, the same actions, the same just things every day in life, even just being loneliness, fucking up your progress, and just not feeling good enough. But here's the good news, bro. You can change it. But you have to be willing to listen to yourself, listen to those beliefs, those triggers that come up, and to get uncomfortable. I wouldn't say follow traditional self-improvement by just grinding your way past things, but to hear the conditioning that has been put on you, to hear those limiting beliefs that you believe about yourself, about your situation, and it's the things deep down within yourself and the subconscious mind. While working yourself does help, it's to actually hear the deep internal traumas, the deep internal wounds and conditioning and beliefs in order to let go, to actually change your life, to feel the triggers, because feeling is healing, and to feel those things in life, you're able to let go. And for me in my past, I wasn't actually committed to change. I was so comfortable and used to just being that way because I didn't have to face anything. So today, bro, if you feel stuck, if you feel trapped within that same routine, the same cycle, I know it sucks, but don't beat yourself over it. Don't be mad about it if you're not willing to change. Accept the imperfections, accept the things that are not going well, but know that you can change yourself if you truly desire to change, and know that you can let go of these issues.